That's not good.
Let's see if we got any new. Oh, it would be new. Happy thoughts? No. I think we just gotta finish where we left off. There Yeah, right there. What a save. No, okay. I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. The girl is Cuddy Dote,
It's
my neighbor
Sayori,
and
my
good friend
goodness.
since we were.
I'm not gonna forget.
You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it's just kind of worse. Each other for so long. We used to walk to school together. Jeez, we almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and enter the crosswalk and let. Just like any other day. An ordinary school day. Mornings are usually the worst because try to like couples and friend groups walk to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time to meet some girls or something like that. I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just by getting by on average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club. It's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. School day's ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. Guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club.
I guess that's me. We don't know who that is.
We don't know who that is. Scarlet? That you, Scarlet? Monica?
Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right?
Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway?
Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers?
I guess you could check the closet.
Fucking typical
You're in
man.
the debate club, right?
About that. I actually quit the debate club.
Really? You quit?
Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it.
In that case, what club did you decide to join?
Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club.
Literature? Sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far?
It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find members for something that sounds so boring.
Well, I can see that.
But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. Besides, a member is a member, right?
Did Monica say she?
Hey, Scarlet. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join?
I mean, I guess so, but
In that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please?
well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out.
Awesome! You're really sweet, Scarlet. You know that?
Aw, it's nothing really.
Shall we go then? I'll look for materials another time. You're more important.
And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I dejectedly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door.
I'm back. And I brought a guest with me. A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Scarlet.
All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls.
So, let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right?
No, I'm not.
Natsuki.
The girl with the sour attitude, whose name apparently is Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you.
Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you.
So I ran into Scarlet in a classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica? Didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Scarlet?
The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica.
So I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone.
I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Must be hard to start a new club.
You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. I was just gonna say, I'm like, what's going on here? Should we go check the menu thingies again and investigate? Or are we supposed to just do this all again? Like, what the fuck?
I'm not sure
Like,
what's happening.
what is happening?
They just deleted Sayori.
No, Monica, what is going on? Where's Sayori? Did it get rid of everything too?
Yeah.
Wow. There's nothing like hidden? No new mail?
A new picture.
There was still a bunch of secrets and it's like we didn't find any of the secrets.
Attempt to load a save file with Sayori's death. Sayori's still there.
Nothing? What the heck?
Sayori's just a mix of all three of them now. Alright.
You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess.
Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom?
Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
I guess.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not...
Insulted, Yuri looks away.
I meant that, I believe you.
I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea.
I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief.
So, Scarlett, what kinds of things do you like to read?
Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but keeps quiet.
Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger.
My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. Telling a good story is in such a form world is equally impressive.
Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people.
But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately.
I read horror. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I could relate to at a minimal level. I read horror book. At this rate, Yuri might as well be with the rock. Oh,
I'd
shit.
expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Oh, I hate horror. Why is that? Well, I just...
Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second.
Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! And give me that back. Fine, fine.
Natsuki, you write your own poems?
Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care?
I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime?
No.
Natsuki averts her eyes.
You wouldn't like them.
Not a very confident writer yet.
I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have experience writing too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers.
I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment.
Hey, I just got an idea. How about this?
Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica.
Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Scarlet?
Hold on, there's still one problem.
What's that?
Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes.
But... I'm sorry, I thought...
The girls exchange glances before Monica turns to me.
I guess I need to tell you the truth, Scarlet. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm
defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I'd feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation, and besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price, I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up.
Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Scarlet?
Yeah. It could be fun, right?
You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just laughed after all this, I would be super pissed. Scarlet, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay?
Thanks, I guess.
Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share.
Monica looks over at me once more.
Scarlet, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself.
Yeah. I can really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait.
With that, I depart the clubroom and make my way home. The whole way my mind wanders back and forth between the three girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after
Justice for
school in a
Sayori.
literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances.
Yeah,
Sure, good
poor
fortune will
you,
find me.
stuck in literature club with 3 hotties.
I guess
Oh
that starts
no.
with writing a poem tonight.
I have to write poems for hot chicks. Oh. Yes? Oh god, babe, what's gonna happen? Yes, no, it do. Okay.
A dream. I was wandering an abandoned warehouse at night and was lost looking for an exit. I just wanted to go home. I came upon a huge empty room, its ceiling and walls beyond the deep blackness. My steps were quick in order to hurry to the other side, or to a wall, anything. Suddenly the ground was no longer beneath my feet. I stepped into a hole of indeterminate width. I fell for a good 5 seconds before crashing into warm water. Figuring out which way was up, I surfaced myself. The air was humid, and the sounds of my splashing reverberated endlessly. My vision was completely swallowed by the dark. With one hand, I could feel the damp metal wall of the container. My lungs were already getting tired.
Still have to write a poem, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Here, I haven't wrote one yet. Give your control to me. Justice for Sayori.
Well, who do you want to impress?
Neither of them.
I think you're definitely going to impress Yuri. You want to keep going?
Hi again, Scarlet. Glad to see you didn't run away on us.
No, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Thanks for keeping your promise, Scarlet. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Yeah, that's creepy as fuck. Mm-hmm.
He's stuck between saying Monica and manga.
Manga is literature!
Swiftly defeated, and Suki plops back into her seat.
I'm sorry, Scarlet. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay?
Yuri shoots Natsuki with disappointed glances.
Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read.
Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. So it only feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask.
Wait. I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess.
No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to.
Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like.
Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book.
I didn't want you to feel left out. I picked a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted.
How's this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much? Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book.
Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think.
Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. That doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of the book. Looks like the same book she lent me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. That only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable.
Oh. It's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. I'm just rereading a bit of this. Babe, her eyes trying to leave its face. The fuck? What the fuck is happening?
That's the book you gave me, right?
Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it.
Yeah, you're gonna do that. Well, there you go.
Not for
All
any
better.
particular reason.
Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Your eyes are freaking me out.
Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday. That's not what I meant.
You gotta go to the optometrist, maybe, or fucking...
I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them.
I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. Maybe it's the factor I just tried to float a fucking way, my guy? Like, holy shit, dude. This is not the literature club to join. I'll definitely start reading it soon, totally.
I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story.
Is that so? What's the story about, anyway?
Well, mm,
I look at the cover of the book. The book's titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover.
it's Yuri's eye. The Yuri's eye fell on the book.
Basically, it's about this religious... Oh, that's you.
Oh, sorry.
Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison.
Yeah. She's like got that shy, kind of sultry. And the people trapped here have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs.
That's kind of dark, isn't it? You made it sound like I was gonna be a nice, like it was gonna be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere.
Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Scarlet?
No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different.
It's just that this kind of story, it's the kind that challenges you to look at life with a strange, new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Then suddenly, I'm rambling, aren't I?
Yeah, just a bit.
Not again. I'm sorry.
I don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then. I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole body gets incredibly... I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. Please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
In fact, you might as well get started reading it, right?
Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but...
What are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I put in my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You seemed a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
All right.
I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over.
Because her eyes are
Looks like she's reading from my book instead. And from the other side of the room.
I was just bathing in the feeling of your...
Yuri, you're sketching out a bit, Yuri. I'm not even pressing the button when it does that. It just like wants to do its own crazy black big bold text. Friggin' Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes sense, and it's kind of difficult to turn the page. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here.
Yuri takes your left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. So simple. That way, I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready? To turn the page.
Oh, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not.
Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things, she says, and all that.
That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her.
Something else?
Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head.
Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little...
My breathing?
Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat.
I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water.
Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about?
Scarlet, did something happen just now?
I have no idea. Yuri's acting a little strange, I guess,
So you don't know anything?
Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her?
Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her.
No, nothing.
Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming.
Alright, if you say so.
Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other?
Shouldn't we wait for Yuri?
Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay?
Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up, I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and slip it back into my bag. Is it just sitting with Yuri? Oh, it's a note. A secret note.
Hmm.
Oh, I wanted to look at.
Don't forget to back up Monica's character file?
Where was that?
That's what it said. Instead of saying watch out for kids or whatever, it said don't forget to back up Monica's character file. Can you hear me?
Oh. The artificial eyes.
I'll read it. There's a little devil inside all of us. Beneath their manufactured perception, their artificial reality is a writhing, twisted mess of dread, loathing, judgment, elitism, self-doubt, all thrashing to escape the feeble hold of their host, seeping through every little crevice they can find, into their willpower, starving them all motivation and desire, into their stomach, forcing them to drown their guilt in comfort food, or into a newly opened gash in their skin, hidden only by the sleeves of a cute new shirt. Such a deplorable, tangled mass is already present in every single one of them. That's why I choose not to blame myself for their actions. All I did was untie the knot. Anything else new? What's the attributions one? Where's Monica's file? It said back it up. Maybe it just wanted us to go see that poem, or whatever the fuck that was. Insecure directory. Oh, we saw that already. Back up. Yeah, see, that's what it always said before. It didn't say that.
I told Natsuki I was listening to her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair I share mine with her first.
Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you.
It's a little blunt.
Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. Just didn't evoke any emotions.
So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes?
Do you want to get smacked?
I'll pass.
Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it.
Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can see, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. People can die.
Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem.
Why Natsuki reading like... Natsuki's turning into Yuri over there.
I know. Something weird's going on.
Oh shit, something weird's going on.
Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into that than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take it away from her.
Hi, Scarlett.
Monica,
Having a good time so far?
I didn't back your file up. Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
Kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Don't worry, Scarlett. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. And Monica, my poem.
Great job, Scarlett. I was going to in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you.
It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort.
That's not very fair. I guess it worked out.
Sorry.
You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Something I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing. Sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head, and it's probably a much more interesting place for her. That's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's being used like that. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time.
Suddenly the door opens.
Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good.
Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know.
I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall, but he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings, but my burned eyes could no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's not there. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen.
So, what do you think?
It's very free form, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style's got pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten.
Exceptional.
What was that?
Did I say that out loud?
Yuri first covers her mouth, but ends up covering her full face.
He's gonna hate me.
You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for?
Yuri takes a breath.
So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicate you've written a lot of poetry before.
Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again.
Well, I know that. I just meant,
Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly.
Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened.
Let's see where you find her train of thought. Says it if her demeanor totally changes, her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing, even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself or me or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, this isn't supposed to be isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light, the tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of present but living in the past. The light flickers, I flicker back.